Has been one of the hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Travel has all but ground to a halt. Many small tourism businesses have closed or are on the brink. Even a big hotel and gaming group like Tsogo Sun has attributed big losses to the closure of hotels. Well, the Tourism Business Council of South Africa has lobbied Parliament recently to support its call for the gradual reopening of the tourism sector, and it has appealed to government to allow some opening under lockdown level 3. To discuss, we're now joined by the CEO of the Tourism Business Council, Tshifhiwa TshiFengwa. Thank you for being with us, Mr. TshiFengwa. It's Youth Day and many young people are employed in tourism. So let's start there with your estimates now. What are the potential job losses if tourism doesn't open soon?
Thank you for having me, and good evening to your listeners in this Youth Day. I think the picture that we have now is not looking good at all. We have a lot of young people that are employed within the tourism sector, and we also have a lot of young people that are training within travel, tourism, and hospitality that are hoping to get jobs within our sector. And what we're seeing now is that the sector is being decimated. We now have almost 160 to 200,000 people that on UIF receiving the UIF TS program. So it is not looking good, and that is why we're calling for reopening of the sector so that we can preserve the jobs that we have and re-employ those that are sitting at home at the moment.
People are asking, can the industry be salvaged? I guess the point is some businesses will be left standing, but the longer this goes on, the less likely it is that other businesses will survive.
No, absolutely. The longer we keep our borders closed, the longer we don't allow domestic leisure travel to happen, the longer we don't open up attractions and many other aspects of tourism, the worse it's going to become. So it is our call as a sector to say that in order to preserve, in order to be able to continue and save what's already left, let's rather look at reopening the industry in a phased approach, in a safe way, based on the protocols that we've developed that are comprehensive and that mitigate the spread of the virus. And if we don't do so, we're going to decimate a lot of small businesses that started to operate, since 1994, that are offering unique experiences. And a lot of these businesses are the ones that are really, a pillar for the tourism industry. So it is important that we preserve those small businesses and as well as large businesses that employs a lot of people, and ensuring that we can have employment within the sector. So it is a dire situation, but it can be salvaged if we decide now, and if we open domestic leisure travel now, in addition to what's already operating on the business side, and also having a date, which we have put down ourselves as a Tourism Business Council of September as a date for inbound international travel to start. So if we do those things, we will salvage what's left of the industry and we'll be able to rebuild from that.
Well, tell us, what has the response been from government and what are you hearing? Because the Small Business and Development Minister has been quoted just in recent days saying that restaurants and spas may open under an advanced level 3 lockdown. Have you heard anything about that and whether any tourism businesses could be affected?
No, we haven't had anything, around that. Obviously, we're waiting for the announcement to be made. But when we presented our case to government, as well as presenting to the president and to the Portfolio Committee on Tourism in Parliament, we did talk about, the need for the enhanced level 3 to start as soon as possible. So we are hoping that sit-down restaurants will be opened, as we have lobbied and we've presented to the president and the minister. We are hoping that, other aspects of tourism will also be opened, because we believe that if we don't open, what's left of restaurants, especially the sit-down restaurants, is going to be nothing, because, they are dependent on people coming in. And we've developed protocols together with the restaurants, that are, our members and those that are not our members. And we believe that we should move as fast as possible to ensure that, this is done. If we don't do it, we are risking further job losses, and we will be adding on the already high number of unemployment in the country. So it is in our hands, and on the basis of the protocols that we've developed and the basis of these comprehensive health and safety issues, to allow restaurants to open and other aspects of tourism like leisure travel in the domestic front, and also, like I said, having a date for international travel, which we believe should be in September.
And I mean, is September viable? We could see infections go up all the way through July, August, September may be bad as well. I mean, how do you plan if you're a tourism business now and you rely on those international travelers? I saw there was a survey by lekkerslaap.co.za and many businesses saying, well, they're hoping for December. I mean, what do you do? How do you plan around all of this?
Look, the way international travel works is that, between September and April of each year, it's our peak season. And we receive around 60% of the bookings from international markets come through that time. And this is a sector that's worth around 120 billion rand. So if we don't open it up by then, we are risking of losing the entire year. And also as a destination, we may not be competitive, going forward because people will choose to go somewhere else. So that's why we believe that the protocols that we've developed helps us to mitigate the spread of the virus within the tourism value chain. And we believe that if we implement them now using domestic leisure travel and business travel, it will be a practice so that, the international markets can gain confidence and trust us and be able to say, I can go to South Africa. I know that when I go there, I'll be safe. So we do believe that September is the right time to open, if not earlier. And we believe that we need to be talking about this and discussing it in order to preserve jobs. If we don't do it, we'll lose the whole year. We're going to have to wait until next year, September, to get into the peak of the season. And by that time, there won't be anything left in the tourism space, especially on the inbound market.
Sure, I can imagine the anxiety amongst tourism business operators. Thank you very much. That was the CEO of the Tourism Business Council, Tshifhiwa TshiFengwa, and we'll follow government's response to their call for some opening of at least domestic tourism for now.